Welcome back, everybody, to Rain on Your Parade with J-L Cauvin. I'm J-L Cauvin, here, as always, minus 3 episodes, with producer Mike.
Hi, everybody. Hi, JL. How are you doing? And don't forget...
I know, of course, assistant professor, intern. You know him from the shelter in Brooklyn.
That's right.
The dog park on 51st Street.
Yep.
And generally being a good boy, it's Frankie.
Hi. Say hello, Frankie.
Okay.
Not much, but
okay.
He's
well,
here.
You know, he's shy. He's behind the camera talent.
Yes.
You know,
right.
he's working on that. He doesn't have the ego of the kids these days. He's just looking to get his craft.
Yeah.
And his skills. I respect that.
That's absolutely right. He's getting more shine than he even deserves right now.
Yeah.
He's really a behind the camera guy, like you said.
Yeah. Well, a lot of stuff going on. My special, thank you to everybody so far who's watched it. We crossed, as of this recording, 4 days later, 4.5 days later, it's crossed 50,000 views. Not the million I was hoping for, but better than the 5,000 views on day one, where I thought, this is my Ishtar. You know, or what's a better reference, like more modern? Ishtar is like
Heaven's Gate.
Even worse.
Yeah,
That's an even older movie.
Is it older than Ishtar?
I feel like Ishtar is like 84 and Heaven's Gate is like 80 or something.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate was what killed the director as like a star era of Hollywood. Yeah.
That's awesome. What's going to do that for comedy? But whatever, there's bombs all the time. I'm forgetting what's been a real bomb, you know, recently.
Spaceship Earth, a planet, not Spaceship Earth?
Okay,
Battlefield Earth.
You're not that old. Why are your references even
Battlefield Earth is from the 90s. That's Travolta.
I'm looking for something. Exactly. I'm looking for what bombed in 2018.
Oh, I don't know. Everything.
Okay. Well, thank you so far to everybody who's watched it. It's picking up steam. The feedback has been great, except for the one person who said I was stealing Shane Gillis's shtick.
Yes.
And I politely retorted to them, been doing it for 10 years. When I opened for Shane Gillis in 2019, the first words he said when he got on stage were, "Oh shit, how fucking scary is JL's Trump?" So please be quiet, I said in much harsher language. But that's good. At first it was, the first boost to my career was, oh, you're copy and lip syncing, because we became incredibly stupid. And now it's you're stealing from the guy who you've been doing it, twice as long as. So it's always fun. It's always fun to put something out there and know that some garbage will come back. So please watch it. And for anybody here, I got one new Patreon subscriber, $3. How can you resist? Easily is the answer to that rhetorical question. But some good bonus episodes. My review of Mark Twain will finally go up next week. It's taken me 2 months because
how many pages?
It's 1,033. That's text. That's not. Oh, I'm sorry. 9-page. I believe it's a 9-page prologue with the Roman numerals. I was doing the counting. So it's 1,042 pages before you get to index bibliography. It's 1,042 pages of reading. So it's been like a 2-month read instead of a 1-month read for me.
That churn out, really. He writes, huh?
He churns.
Yeah, he churns.
And we go, ow. So, I mean, I do want to do a sketch where this is a true story. I want to make a sketch called Churnow's Gym, and the only weights are his books.
They are long,
with
man.
Twain being like the personal 1 rep max.
Yeah.
Chalk up and be like, let's 2 guys around me, maybe 2 big nerdy guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Put on the weightlifting belt, and then you just start with reps of Titan and Hamilton. There's lighter pages on Hamilton, and then you move up to Washington, and then Grant, and then you get to Twain, and you're like,
Grant's long too, right?
Grant felt like a picnic compared to this, and it was 860 pages.
Crazy.
But there was never a moment, spoiler, but seriously, anybody watching this, you want to support what I do, this show, anything I do, Patreon's only $3 a month. And the bonus, if you liked the Trump special, the bonus piece of content on that is Elon Musk, opened the show. He emceed the show. So my set as Elon Musk is on the Patreon. Once again, it's $3. You love my comedy, don't you? No, you don't. But, just guilt. I'll take a guilt trip at this point. You don't have to love my comedy. Just feel guilty and join. But the review of Twain will be up. But it is long. But like Grant, there was never a moment where I wasn't kind of interested in where it was going.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. Huck Finn gets published on like page 310.
Oh boy.
So just this feels like
thorough.
Yeah. It's you're like, oh, okay. Well, this certainly can't peak on page 310.
Yeah.
Because other things must have happened that were so big,
right,
that they require. What does Austin Powers say in is it So I Married an Axe Murderer, where he gets like a gun rack and he's like,
no, it's Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Thank you.
Why would I get a gun rack?
I don't have a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate a rack. But that review is coming very shortly. But the Patreon's a good time, everybody. If you like what I do, you get a little even more unfiltered from me on that. But thank you once again. Share the special. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's doing nicely. It's not killing the game, but it's the highest viewed special I've put out on YouTube. So that's not saying much, but it at least it has its rightful place. Laura's birthday was last week, and we went out for a nice dinner, and then we had a Fudgy the Whale cake because she's a child and I'm R. Kelly, apparently. It's always weird. I had to buy a 7 for the cake in Carvel because we have 4s. So I had to buy a 7. But I felt like better about that because the guy giving me the cake probably thought, oh, his 7-year-old daughter wants an ice cream cake.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's it. To be fair, Fudgy the Whale is delicious.
Yeah.
But gave her the Gaga tickets. She was totally surprised.
Really?
You know what that means?
I guess she didn't listen to the show.
Doesn't listen to the show. How cruel. What a cruel, bittersweet. Every rose has its thorn. Meow. Great solo, CeCe DeVille. But then I just want to give you like the intro is going to be brief this week. Obviously, folks, I'm in Jersey City this Thursday, and then I'm in DC and Philly in October, and Charlotte in December. All ticket links are up on my website now. Don't know why I have to keep stressing this, but if you're gonna go, get the tickets now and spread the word. Let's make some respectable, if not great, showings in those 4 cities. But a great Laura moment, one that you'll appreciate. We're sitting on the couch. I like to sometimes just listen with Joshua Tree, the aforementioned Joshua Tree off mic, my favorite bar in the city, often known as the douchiest bar in New York. I never really took place in the douchebaggery. I really, I was like always a
tunes, man.
I was like a generation older. I remember great thing happened in my early mid 30s. 2 very attractive young women came up to me and my friend. And, they saw the Tower of Power and walked up and said, hey, ba. And I just said, and she was like, it's my friend's birthday. She's 21. And I was like, I know jailbait when I hear it. But I said, oh, no, we're too old. You just be gone.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. And she goes, one of them says, how old are you? 26? For whatever reason, I guess I was having a good night that night.
Yeah.
And I got, nah. Just me saying it like that should have indicated I was in my 30s.
Right.
There was a condescension that doesn't come from a fellow 20-something.
Yeah.
And then the friend who I think was really interested in me gave like a 29. I was like 36 or something, 35. And I said 30, whatever I said, 35. The look, it was so great because it wasn't, you couldn't be offended because it was instinctive. Horror, like a moment of horror. Like she was thinking, I almost had old dick in me. Like that was the look of horror she had because I was like 35.
Yeah.
I'm even 34. But it was like, it was such a, so we never really went there for the douchebaggery. It was literally like loud 80s tunes. Although the one time, sometimes they would venture into the 90s and 2000s. And when I heard Bad Romance blaring in there for the first time, like the first time not in like earbuds or on TV, I was like, wow. this is great. And I have told Laura when we go to the concert, I don't care what she does with any of her songs. You can do the jazz version of Telephone. I don't care. Scooby-Doo-Doop-Doop in honor of Tony Bennett's Carcass. I'm doing Telephone jazz style. Hello, everybody. I'm on the fucking phone. Don't you fuck with Bad Romance.
Does she do that?
I don't know. What I don't need is...
I doubt she could.
You know what I mean, though?
I do.
Where it's the first verse is like a cappella, so you've lost a third of the song already. It's like...
You want the energy.
Like a cappella, like some a cappella college group. I'm like, what is happening? We're a third down. The song is a third done already, and I haven't gotten pulsating fucking beats. I want that to be raw and make me go deaf, and the kind where you feel your like balls vibrating from the bass. That's the only acceptable version of Bad Romance. The whole concert can be weird. Not Bad Romance. But Joshua Tree, we just sat there and listened to 80s music and got drunk because I had a good relationship with the bartender who would, as I told you before, I shouldn't have told you before. Now this is redundant for you, but not for the audience. It'd just be like, oh, your tab at the end of the night's 70. Well, I definitely drank $210 of alcohol. So you keep the balance. And that's how we keep this thing going, where I drink immense amounts for cheap. And so Gaga's Saturday, but we're sitting on the couch, and I sometimes like to go through YouTube. YouTube has become my radio. You know, I'll just sit and be like, it starts to get me. You know, there's like a Toto and The Outfield, Your Love, that kind of fucking Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight. And Patience. I see Patience like, oh, I haven't heard Patience in a while. And I love the video. Just young Axl. Yeah. I know everybody's answer is always like, oh, Freddie Mercury, greatest frontman of all time. I get why people say that. But if I can go like a Sandy Koufax, like 87 to 93, Axl Rose is my favorite frontman of all time. In terms of the raw energy, slithering moves, range of vocals, fucking tremendous. Danger, a little bit of danger in it. He'll fucking punch. He'll punch you right in the teeth.
Listen,
in 1991.
I wouldn't put Axl. Wouldn't even be. I don't know if he'd be in my top 10.
No, I'm sure your list is a fucking bunch of tight jeans hacks like Robert Plant and Mick Jagger.
Plant is not a hack. Robert Plant.
Your answer is going to be all the proper like everybody has deemed these. Like you're the guy who had the Beatles are the greatest of all time. I don't really care.
I do think that.
I know, of course, and that's fine. I don't care. But like Axl Rose, like I feel like you're if he's not in your top, whatever, that's fine. But dismissing Axl Rose as a frontman, disgraceful. And I can see it in your vibe that you're dismissing.
I just don't think that he would be close to.
And they're also the last truly great rock band. When I say rock band, I mean rock and roll.
What about Pearl Jam?
No, that's like, no. And I would say on just a pure scale of rock, no. Pearl Jam is very, very good. But they do their own thing. You know, as anthemy as they become, Pearl Jam doesn't have shit on Welcome to the Jungle when it comes to like fucking a rock song.
I gotta think about that. That's probably true.
Oh, Frankie's like, what is that? What are all those sounds
Welcome to the
coming
Jungle
out?
is awesome.
Yeah.
And I know Guns N' Roses is your favorite band.
But it's also, it's because what I would say is there's no blues or anything in Pearl Jam or Nirvana. Like it's rock.
Not as much in Nirvana. Pearl Jam is more, there's a lot more.
Guns N' Roses is like to me, like a descendant of the Rolling Stones.
Like, have you heard Yellow Ledbetter and songs?
Yes.
Like Yellow Ledbetter is a like a Hendrix riff. That's like a blues
riff.
They got less grunge as they went on.
Sure.
You know?
No. And I don't want to dismiss them.
I get your point. Heavy rock.
Like, I think Guns N' Roses is the last great pure rock band.
The other argument I would make was for Foo Fighters.
They're the last rock band.
Yeah, okay.
I
like them a lot.
And I do like them.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. Walk is probably my favorite Foo Fighters song. I know it's a little later in their catalog, but I think that fucking song.
Best of You is awesome. That's a really,
they're really good. No, don't get me. Yes, absolutely. I actually think like when they performed Walk at the Grammys in like 2012,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to think it's that long ago.
Yeah, that is.
But I was like, oh, well, they got to win because this is rock.
Right.
This category is like going away, and this song is rock.
Right.
So, and to be fair, I know I said the intro would be short, but to be fair,
Well, we got to talk about music, and that's never.
Nickelback and Creed, whether you like them or not, they play rock music. Like, you don't have to like them. You don't have to think they're good, but they are playing rock music. Especially Nickelback. It's not.
Well, I was going to say especially Creed. Creed is more of a rock band to me than Nickelback.
You ever heard Burn It to the Ground?
I don't think I have, actually.
It was on NHL 10. That's where I learned my music, from video games.
Yeah,
when the partnership began between like video games, and like, we'll just buy 8 songs.
That's how I learned rap music.
Right.
Bubba Sparks on Madden.
Good call
Madden
on the rap
05.
music with Bubba Sparks. He's of that genre of, I'm a fat fuck.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of tattoos. I'm hip hop. It didn't work out. I become a conservative, bluesy.
Oh, did he?
No, I don't. No, not him. But he reminds
you're talking
me of
about the guy from Stained.
No, I'm talking about like the Jelly Rolls and the other guy.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy that's big right now? He's got like a real soulful voice, but he has that same like, I'm a fat white guy with a bunch of tattoos.
Stapleton?
No. Oh, he had like a huge Grammy nominated song this past year. Anyway, in the comments, folks, help us out. Like Jelly Roll type, like a Jelly Roll type.
Fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, that's what you do. You know, Kid Rock did the skinny version of it, which is like, I'm hip hop, man. I'm dead. And it's like, what? And they're not buying my records anymore.
Yeah.
N-word, N-word,
Let's
N-word,
go,
MAGA, MAGA,
Brandon.
MAGA, Bud Light. You know, it's a say, like, they'll welcome you back.
Oh yeah.
They love
to have you back.
The prodigal racist has returned. They love that.
It sucks because before Kid Rock did that, Kid Rock was kind of cool. I saw Kid Rock a lot. He opened for Bon Jovi when I saw Bon Jovi in probably like 2010, 2009.
Ooh, that's later in the Kid Rock.
Dude, he was great. He opened. He played Tumbling Dice, the Stones song. Like he was good.
Do you mind if I one up you here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Saw him at Foxborough in 2000.
So that's like when he was.
This is like
packing.
He just released his second album. You know, Devil Without a Cause has now led
American
into
Badass, the second one, right? Yeah.
And what pissed me off is I saw him on a bill. The concert was Korn, Metallica, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to do a Sad But True American Badass mashup, right? No.
Didn't do it?
No. So that was a real tangent on music, but the whole point was Gaga, Bad Romance. The reason I brought up Guns N' Roses was just to tell a funny Laura story.
Whoops, my bad.
So I'm whistling to Patience, and I'm perfect. Just not even. I'm in sync to the point where I'm like, am I still whistling? I know that sounds weird, but I was just like, this song is like so many of their songs, it's buried in me. And I'm looking at Laura, and you remember Step Brothers when Adam Scott and Catherine Hahn are in the car doing Sweet Child of Mine?
You're flat.
And he goes, I'm going to have to save it with the solo. Meow, meow, I'm Derek, and I can sing high like this, and just staring her down.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing with the whistling by the end, because she was not responding.
Yeah.
I was like, even in my head, I'm like, doesn't this... And then she went like... And I said, nothing? And she goes, no, it was crazy because it was like, it was right on. I couldn't tell if you were whistling anymore because it makes... I said, I know. I was just looking for you to acknowledge that. And it was the weirdest thing because I said, this is perfect you. And she actually laughed. I said, this is you in a nutshell. You just kind of observe what I do and make a mental check of like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I get none of the feedback that a comedian would want.
Yeah.
So as you always say, God bless Laura.
God bless her.
So I'm sure she'll have a reaction to Gaga, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Dynamic performer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see that. You know. Me, nothing. When I'm at my best, she did laugh a lot at the Trump special, though.
That's good.
Yeah. That's a good test. Everybody, if you know one thing about Laura, she doesn't like my comedy. So she was laughing a lot. All right. We're going to get into serious topics after this. We're talking Gavin Newsom after this break. And we're back from the break. Mike, how was that break?
Pretty good break. Frankie's running around, and that's never a good thing. But
yeah, there's a lot of clickety-clack, don't talk back going on.
That's absolutely correct, yeah.
Before we get into Gavin Newsom, it did dawn on me today. There's something, a friend of mine screenshotted, like, a text he sent to a friend, like kind of proving that he's like promoting or wants people to watch my special. Yeah. I'm like, well, when I see that one view click up tonight around 9, I'll know that you did that. Yeah. But in the text to the person they screenshot, it was like, hey, my buddy made this special in Canada. The crowd was going nuts. He pretty much killed it for an hour. And my thought was, why the pretty much? And why I've had this trouble with my career. There's something about, now when I had the cosign of fame in 2020, whatever fleeting amount of fame, but I was written up a lot of virality. Friends had no problem coming to shows, sharing my stuff. It was like that cosign, they wanted to be part of that. So there was no hedging. There was no like, hey, my buddy does comedy. You might like it. He's not too bad.
Right.
You might
wanted to ride
they
the
were like,
wave.
my boy is fucking killing it, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that's my boy. I went to school with that motherfucker. He's legit, man. Yeah. He's fucking legit. And then it becomes like, he pretty much killed it. I committed mass murder on a comedy in comedy terms in Canada. I didn't kill it. Killing it would be soft. Pretty much killing it is an insult to what I did. Killing it would have been downplaying it.
Yes.
Pretty much killed it, insulting.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, I was like, do you think like Michael Jordan has friends from like high school, you know, when he won his 5th championship that still didn't want to be like gay and be like, you sweat,
pretty much the greatest.
You sweat your boy a little too much, bro.
Yeah.
You know, instead that, you know, it'd be like, oh, I don't know if you like basketball. I mean, we play some, you know, but my guy, like he's kind of doing his thing. Yeah. You know, I mean, I can probably get you a game. Who's your friend? Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan's like the greatest player ever. Like, you know, like we tease, you know, he's good. Like he's good. We don't gas him up too much, but no, he's good. You know, I'm not gay or anything. I don't like sweat my friend, but he's like, he's kind of doing his thing. I'll admit he's kind of doing his thing. And that doesn't work obviously because he's mega famous. So his friends would be like, my boy, Michael Jordan. Like, but it's like, I always wonder if people get that kind of shit ever. It's always like your friends who are like, don't want to get like, they feel weird
give it up.
Promoting you because you'll appear to be too good a friend, or you don't want to like force your friend. Like it's like almost like friendship nepotism or something. They don't want to seem like I don't want to bother you with my friend's stuff. No, it's okay. Who's your friend? James Cameron. He's making this new movie. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That seems pretty cool. That's right. Michael Jordan, James Cameron, J-L Cauvin. There it is. There's your big 3. But let's talk Gavin Newsom. Mike, what do you think of Gavin Newsom?
He's got great hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
I don't have a Gavin Newsom yet, but it's just kind of like Troy McClure, but with a sore throat.
Yeah.
From The Simpsons. But this is like the latest iteration of Where Have You Been? Not even Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has been beta testing every tactic to attack MAGA and try to win power back. So first he was like, well, there's a segment of the population that will be like, people like performative bipartisanship. So just like Joe Manchin, it could be like, Joe Manchin, this bill will stop your daughter from being murdered, but only Democrats are voting for it. What will you do, you old leathery sack of shit? And he would say, I can't support this bill if we're going to act in such a one-party fashion. We got to bring it together. My daughter should die if we can only get Democratic votes for this. Really, Joe Manchin? You're willing to go that far in a show of bipartisanship? Okay, kill his daughter. Now, Gavin Newsom's podcast idea was like, I'm going to talk to pieces of shit that I don't respect, who have horrible values and horrible policy ideas, because that's what Americans want to see. They want to see that I'll talk to them. He's probably not entirely wrong. There is that small slice of independence, you know, maybe it's like 0.1% that could maybe swing a couple of districts, but that go, I like that he talks to us. I like that. And then he realized this is stupid. So then he was like, beta test 2, internet troll.
Okay.
And now he's doing internet trolling, and everybody's not everybody. There will be a backlash eventually because we can't support anything for too long in this country. But it's a lot of memes. It's a lot of mocking. I don't think he's doing it himself. He's in California. He probably has like 5 or 6 highly paid, out of work comedy writers doing this for him. Maybe not, but probably. And that in and of itself speaks poorly of where we are as a politics. But I get wanting to win, wanting to find some advantage, wanting to do something to shake things up, and people seem to be responding to it. And I get so tired as I think the boldest, strongest voice on the left.
Okay.
There is, and I'm going to compare it to comedy, what I saw with comedy. Obviously, I was one of the first and only to go after Louis C.K. very early. That's how I made my bones when you were out dating cheerleaders. That was the first real bump, even more than being on late night television. That was the first bump I had within the comedy world. Funny story.
That video?
Yeah, the Louis C.K. video.
I remember that video before I was doing comedy.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I remember Joe Rogan played it. Amy Schumer was on the show with him, and she was like, "Oh, that's J-L. Yeah, he's a good comic." And look how far it took me. Yeah. That was 12 years ago, and nothing happened. But what was funny is that Joe Rogan obviously hired some sort of internet company to like scan the internet for any of his content so he could like either get it taken down or get monetized. So my Louis C.K. video, like a couple of years ago, gets flagged by like the Joe Rogan show. And I was like, nah, you played my video. I should sue you. You sue me. I sue you. Maybe they should sue you.
Maybe they should sue you. We haven't had one of those in a while.
And then they will fear you, Michael. Maybe they should fear you. It's probably my favorite line. It's an intentionally comedic line in great. Godfather 3.
Yeah.
It's an intentionally funny line. Talia Shire is just like, and then they will she's like over the top, and he just goes, I would love to know if that's an impromptu, if that was an improv line.
Yeah.
Because he just looked and was like, maybe they should fear you.
Maybe they should fear you.
Because Godfather not known for a lot of comedic lines.
No, not a lot of funny stuff in there. Not intentionally, at least.
Yeah. But going after CK, like I've been like, from an early point in my career, I was just, I don't want to say not afraid, but I was like, yeah, I'll call out bullshit in comedy just because. Not because I wasn't even thinking clout or anything, but I was like, well, I'm doing comedy. My philosophy with comedy has always been, I'm doing comedy to be funny and be my own boss, like both literally and like, you know, material wise and what I say and what I think. And comedy has always been one of these funny things because a lot of pushback when I went after Louis at his peak. This is pre-masturbation shit. But then it became like very easy for people to go at, like a lot of people jumped on and were like, well, he's vulnerable now. Fuck him. Hey, look at it. He's a perv. He's a fuck him. I
never thought he was funny.
Not to say that that's not right.
Yeah.
But there was like, you know, there's always that piggybacking of like, oh, yeah, I always thought he was overrated. But there were always those people who were acceptable to mock and shit on, like Carlos Mencia, Dane Cook, Carlos Mencia, Amy Schumer. These were always people that were just like accepted. They had lots of fans, but that if you wanted to shit on them, it was like, yeah, that's right. No, but you don't go after Louis C.K. He's not approved. Yeah. And I'm like, it's like the goth kids in South Park, where it's like they're so individualized, doing the exact same thing, having the same opinions, and acting in concert. So individualized, so brave. And I see it in Democratic politics now. And I feel like it's my job to warn people when I see stand-up comedy trends invading real life, to be like the mad scientist going, do you know what happened? Marty, do you know what happened when we did this in stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
No, I can't do a Michael J. Fox.
Oh, Doc.
What is he, fucking Doc?
No, but he does that, right?
It was more orgasmic.
Oh, my God, Doc. What's about to happen, Doc? Yeah, he does kind of sound like he's having an orgasm a little. Oh, Doc. Oh, it's everywhere.
Marty, take the flux capacitor. But I said it with gig economy. I was like, no. Let's not run the economy like stand-up comedy.
Right.
I assure you that's a bad idea. And now with politics, Trump was his own thing. He got to be first. He's like Dane Cook of politics. He figured out MySpace.
Yeah. Right.
Well, there it is. He gets to reap the rewards. Everybody else who follows his plan, never going to be as big.
Yeah.
You're just following. You're trying to carve out your piece of the pie. You're not working on your material, not policy in the analogy, materials policy. But now I see all these big liberal politics and all these big anti-Trump accounts just going like, it's about time. Yes, Gavin Newsom is fighting.
Yeah.
And it's like, because we already lost. Like, you can't, it's a very weird kind of mindset. Like, I don't mind what he's doing. But at the same time, I'm like, oh no, we're in the searching for a hero phase of the Democratic Party, a savior. We're looking for a savior. And so now we're like, yes, this is what we should have been doing all along. There were plenty of people doing this all along. And a lot of the liberals that follow me on Twitter would say to me, that's not nice. Well, now that your rights are taken away, they're like, it's like humans without water for a couple of days will fucking murder each other.
Yeah.
That's where we are as a Democratic Party now. It's like, get him, Gavin.
Yeah.
Go, I don't care. Fucking make fun of his kid. Kill his wife, whatever. We gotta fight.
Yeah.
And it's really pathetic at this point. And this isn't even a critique of Gavin Newsom, but more of what he represents, which is like, he's the new savior. And we will get annoyed with him. And when we're safe, that's the thing. Democrats can exhibit some of the same things on a smaller level that the country exhibits, which is we'll forget certain things, maybe that we should forget, like that Gavin Newsom is a straight white man. But I guarantee you that's going to come back to haunt him at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, is this really who we want to support?
Right.
Yes. The quick answer is yes. We're a racist, misogynistic country. So let's just, if he wins, great. So be it.
Yeah.
But it's, then we'll remember that, California didn't like him that much. And he's this and that. He was married to Kim Guilfoyle. Him and Don Jr. are, Eskimo brothers. Mm-hmm. That's gross. That could be who he's running against in 2028. Ugh.
What a circus that would be.
But this isn't one of my usual episodes where I'm saying, I don't know where we're going. I don't know. This is me griping about, and I do a lot of defending of the Democratic Party, so I'm entitled to a complaint once in a while in-house, especially when I feel like it, people turned away from my hard-hitting anti-Trump stuff because they wanted lip sync, or they didn't like when the jokes got too mean. And then they got their, basically what I'm saying is if they had listened to me and let me run free and become a millionaire, key in that last part, we wouldn't be in this position.
Right.
But
so you're punishing them.
But yeah, America likes to forget and then remember when it's too late. And so we'll have this love affair with Gavin Newsom. We'll eventually either elect him or hate him. And then realize, we shouldn't have hated him because J.D. Vance or Don Jr. is way worse. And I'm just here to say, if Gavin, if you're listening, I'll write for you. But I don't know what's going to happen with this party. I just find it very funny. And I can smell so many of these left-wing enterprises that blow up. They don't make the trends. They don't make the news. I think that's what bothers me. They follow. They chase the algorithm.
Yeah.
They who's out there paving a new way or speaking frankly without concern for clicks. And if the clicks come, so be it. But I feel like all these places, they follow the trends. They don't make the news. They follow it. And when left wing, whether it's Gavin Newsom or some of these big podcast enterprises, when they're not taking stands, but they're just kind of following trends when they're not. Like Donald Trump, like it or not, the MySpace Dane Cook analogy works. He broke the mold.
Right. You
need a new mold breaker. You don't need somebody who's going to try and do a different copy. Yes?
But my question is, what is, you need a new mold breaker, but what is the new mold?
Well, Mike, maybe we'll have a big announcement in a few months on this show. And maybe not.
Maybe.
And maybe not.
Yeah.
Because, there are certain, I'm reminded of the Bain quote when I think of my mindset for politics and where we are as a country now. The Democrats like Gavin Newsom are adopting it. I was born in it.
Yeah.
And, we are not going to beat Trump with following Trump. That just, the Republicans, God bless them, just kidding, gave us a hint. When they tried to do insults and things like that, it failed. It failed. He's cornered that market. That's, unless there is a Democrat, Chris D'Elia, who will take Trump's spot at the Comedy Store, we got to find a whole new paradigm. It's a deep layered analogy, but it works. Yeah. But it works. So I would like Gavin Newsom, you're playing to the weaklings is what I think my message would be to Gavin Newsom. I appreciate it. I appreciate humor. I appreciate edginess. But you're doing it because now there's a hunger for it in the Democrats want their own edgelord.
Yes.
I've said the Democrats want their own dictator. Whenever people say, what are the Democrats even doing? I don't know. Obeying the Constitution?
Right.
Following the laws? Just say you want your own dictator. And then we can have a more frank discussion. But don't just go, what are you doing? So Gavin Newsom is like your new handsome. He's a more handsome edgelord. He's Anthony Jeselnik of comedy. Hey, Trump, guess what? I made a meme of you because you're fat. Lean back, satisfied. Yeah. Do 28 minutes of jokes, stretch them out with pauses to a full hour. But I am a fan. But just because I'm a fan doesn't mean I can't point out the fact that he's like a podcast played on 0.5 speed. Take a pause for satisfaction. Give the disarming punchline. Lean further back until you set up your next joke. But yeah, that's what we want now. We want Gavin Newsom to be Anthony Jeselnik because it's like it's been sanctioned now. We're like, and I think somebody's got to just start telling harsh ass truths. Like, may I try?
Are you asking me? Yeah,
I
don't care.
Yeah. I like to play to the audience.
You're dying,
I know. Just play along with me instead of breaking the fourth wall that it's my show. We know it's my show. But it's like sometimes I just want to say insulting Trump isn't enough. I think somebody has to say you can no longer trust MAGA voters to do the right thing. And I know people go, you can't turn on MAGA. Yes, I can. They're a lost cause. They are a lost cause. And to say it's always Democrats can't turn on MAGA, MAGA has turned on us 10 years ago. They think Democrats eat babies and hate America. And we're standing there going, we can't hate MAGA. No. And I'm not saying to hate anybody. It's not good for your health. MAGA, goodbye. Any discussion that involves like trying to reach, it's gone. They're gone. They are gone. Ryan Stout, very funny comedian. When I performed in Alabama, one and only time, I was at the Stardome in 2009. First show went great. The next 5 shows, pretty bad. Owner never had me back. And he'd warned me. He said, New York comics don't always do great down here. And I was at that phase of my career where I had like 40 minutes of material, 50 minutes of material, and that was it. So if they didn't like what I did, I was out of luck. I couldn't just go through, I'll do 5 impressions and so didn't go well. But the guys who worked at the club liked my act. And one of them came up to me and said, oh man, this guy Ryan Stout was here last week headlining. And I said, oh, I know Ryan. I did the Boston Comedy Festival. Very funny guy. He said, yeah, what Ryan did was he got on stage and he said to the crowd, this is secondhand. This is what the employee of the club told me. But he said, it sounded just like something Ryan Stout would do. He said, Ryan got on stage his first night and he goes, "Hey, everybody." He comes on in a suit. He's like a youthful looking guy. And he goes, "Hey, everybody, I just want to let you know that half of you are going to love my show this week. And half of you are going to have no clue what's going on. And I'd like all the half that are going to get it. Let's wave bye to the other half. See ya. Nice knowing you. You're going to get lost." But what that did, and I'm probably butchering however he did it, but what that did was it created a sense of, well, I want to be on the side that knows. I want to be on the side that knows. So I'm laughing and hope that I'm on the side that knows. And I'm going to try to be on the side that knows. That's what I feel like. It's a great kind of rhetorical device. And he's like this odd combination of squeaky clean and incredibly dark. But I feel like that's what we need to do at this point, is just own up in a real way, not in a like, oh, MAGA, they suck. I hate MAGA. No. You got to realize that there is there's a large part of this country that is gone as far as you're concerned. Not gone, like literally like the what was that show on the HBO, The Leftovers?
Yes.
Not like that. But they're just, that's it. There's no reason to reach out to them. And it's okay to think some people are stupid. And it's okay to think some people are bad. And we don't need an insult comic. We need somebody who is going to be honest with the remaining 200 million people in this country who either don't vote or vote Democratic. That the future of the country hinges on you. And I'm willing to reach out to both sides or whatever spectrum within the group of people that aren't MAGA is. But this idea of like, we've got to talk to MAGA. No, we don't. Like and I think Gavin Newsom secretly learned that it was like, I'm gaining nothing algorithmically or morally from talking to these garbage people. So now he's going to edgelord path. But I think we just need to start being honest as a country and realize we're in a cold civil war and we are entrenched. And one side gives a shit about people and the other side sort of seems to believe in fictions and hate. And I'm not saying the left or anybody who's not MAGA is righteous, is automatically righteous or good. They're not. There's plenty of pieces of shit on our side. But for the sake of the country, this is like deciding between a glass of water and cancer at this point. And some people go, I love water. Some people are like my mom. They go, stop making me drink water. But nobody's going for cancer. And we have to realize the difference is that stark. And so all due respect to Gavin Newsom's, content creation factory that's in high gear. But as somebody who's been a troll of Trump for a lot longer than Gavin Newsom and who's never had sex with Kim Gargoyle, 2 reasons why you should support me over Gavin Newsom. We have to start realizing trolling is not the way. Being honest, brutally honest with our own side, I think is the way. And I don't see that yet. Like, there is a crisis and the team that can solve the crisis has to get together. And I think you need brutal honesty to that group, not gamesmanship anymore. They won the game. They're not funny. They have Gutfeld. They suck. They think they love comedy. They love cruelty and stupidity, not necessarily comedy. And we're not going to win that battle. So we just have to start being honest with ourselves and basically calling Democrats and independents and left of center people to task in every way. And I said this on a different interview I did recently, but I said, too often I think the far left kind of act like they are purity martyrs, like nobody listens to us, we have the righteousness, and the reason everything's failing is because you don't listen to us on the far left. But they act like they are Christ-like, that they're never calling corporate Democrats worthless pieces of shit, and you're ruining everything. And my message, I know Mike off camera looked like he just gave it, well, it's kind of true. And that's my problem. My problem is, no, it's not. If the corporate Democrats were the Republicans and the Bernies were the Democrats, now you can have a battle, but then I at least know both sides are moving in the same direction. Very different speeds, but same direction. The point is, everybody that's on that side, we have the numbers, but we don't have the self-reflection and the honesty yet about what each person is doing. When people say that bullshit of like, we've got to relate to MAGA, and first of all, they've given up on relating to us. That's just obvious, but nobody ever says that. Fox is dedicated to talk about how Democrats hate America. You don't have to like CNN, but you don't turn on CNN every hour and have a commentator going, Republicans, they don't care about America. They don't like America. They hate America. They hate Americans. They don't love our country. They're pieces of shit. That's Fox and Newsmax. That is what they do. Yeah. So you don't have to like CNN. You don't have to think they're a great news network or that they do things right. But it's still, even when you're complaining about left of center things, it's still night and day. You might like it at 5 p.m. or at 9 a.m. That's fucking midnight. The MAGA movement is pitch black. Not racially, of course, but just in terms of mood and time of day. And so the left has to stop. And trust me, I make not a living, thanks to a lot of people, but I make a good hobby out of trolling the right because that's comedy. But the real shit, and it has to happen now, whether we need fucking Bill Belichick or fucking who's the guy on the Celtics, Auerbach, name Phil Jackson. The Democrats.
Belichick's a Trump guy.
No, but I mean in terms of coaching, yeah. The Democrats right now don't need another J-L Cauvin. I mean, they do. Stay tuned. But in terms of just trolling the MAGA right, what we need is a coach. Somebody who sits down and says, Bernie and AOC, you bring a lot of talent to the table, a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of good ideas. Mamdani, you're pretty good too, but just for now, just stay in the background a little bit if you don't mind. And then you say to whoever else people hate, whether it's Chuck Schumer, like Chuck Schumer may not be ideal. Cory Booker may have some really bizarre, intense attachment to Israel, but they're still way better. And they have their own set of skills and their own talents and their own know-how. The left has to come together. So we need a coach. We don't need a troll. So all due respect to Gavin Newsom, maybe you're too handsome to be our coach. But that's the role a Gavin Newsom should be playing now. Get your jokes in and fucking quit it. And if we're not mature enough to respond to somebody offering this kind of a message, then fuck it, we're done. But that's what I think we need. We need a coach, not a troll at this point. And, I think people are far too busy just feeling like now it's okay to be a little crude and a little rude. Like, oh, MAGA gave us permission. Now we can be crude and rude. Then who's watching the kids?
Right.
And I'm sorry, I don't like that we have to be the single mom. My analogy. I don't like that Democrats have to be America's single mom. I hate that the Republicans get to be the deadbeat dad, banging strippers in Florida, literally and figuratively. But we do at the end of the day. We do. And so stop trolling. That's not, I hate to say it, that's not us. Like when I troll them, it's for comedic purposes. I'm doing comedy. But if we're doing politics, the message has to be, we need somebody who can fight that side, of course, and engage in social media and engage on the field of battle, if you will. But we have, like the Union and the Confederacy, we've got way more troops. We've got more resources. Not in terms of billionaires and shit, but you know what I mean. We've got more voters. And we've got more voters by tens of millions. But that has to be the message that gets out. We need to reach those people and bring that group together. And trolling isn't the way. So all due respect, Gavin Newsom, be a coach, a handsome coach, like Pat Riley. Be a Pat Riley. He was a handsome coach. No? You don't agree?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Super
be
handsome.
A Pat Riley, not... Dennis Rodman is probably the most colorful
Don
troll.
Nelson? Oh, okay.
No, in terms of just the NBA.
I thought you were talking about ugly coaches.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman won't win this for us.
Yeah.
But Pat Riley might. So slick back your fucking hair, you handsome son of a bitch, and get to work. or whoever else is listening to this who could do this. Okay. That was rambling. I know Mike is like, I can't believe I actually would rather hear comedy talk right now. But yeah, we'll be back in a minute with comedy talk. Bye-bye. And we're back, everybody. Mike, did Gavin Newsom contact you during the break?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet? Yeah. Okay. But I think he's going to like my advice. Once he gets through like 20 minutes of rambling, he's going to really dig down and get to the core of some real wisdom.
We're going to find out.
It's a real test, this podcast.
Right.
It's like, my podcasts, they're like blood diamonds. You have to endure a lot of pain and torture to get to the jewel eventually.
Uh-huh.
So, where's my son? That's Jaimin Hinsu, nominated for an Oscar for Blood Diamond.
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that movie was so good. Okay, here's your punch down of the week. Scott Pelley has the week off. This is in response to my Trump special. Or one of the clips from the Trump special. Trump versus Canada, everybody. And it's the third comment this person's made in like 2 or 3 weeks to the same effect. This guy is funny, but he doesn't want to put the orange makeup on his face. And I can't blame him, but you have to do it. And you have to put a fatter suit on. The tie is good, though.
Likes your tie.
Well, first of all, this fat suit is au naturel. But thank you for saying I needed a fatter one. And I love how he says he's made 3 comments in like 2 weeks on the same footage. It's like from one show. And I think he thinks that my lack of response, that I'm doing like show after show, ignoring him.
Yeah.
And he's like, he doesn't want to put the orange makeup on his face. Well, I have videos from 2020 with me with the makeup.
Right. Go
peruse the channel, you dipshit. But I love how he's like, but he doesn't want to. Like, he's creating this whole story in his mind. And he's like, and I can't blame him, but you have to do it. Okay. And you have to put on a fatter suit. The tie is good, though. So my response was, to avoid the censors on YouTube, oh my God, shut the F up. Your OCD and simplicity is not the concern, but it should be are not, plural. The concern of my comedy, go away. And then I muted him from the channel.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not necessarily punching up a joke, but that's punching up my comedy project.
Yeah.
And the certainty with which he was just like, and I'm pretty fucking fat right now. I look horrible in that. Like, my jawline is gone in this special. It's pretty much gone right now.
Yeah.
But I look disgusting. It's very De Niro Raging Bull, if I may say so, except I'm having a little trouble taking it off again. You know, De Niro got shredded probably for his next movie.
Yeah, immediately.
And then still stays shredded for Cape Fear. He was ripped in Cape Fear. Counselor. But, yeah, just that's stupid. That's a stupid comment. And it's the same for people who keep talking about, you got to do the hands when I'm holding my phone. If I do here, everybody, demonstration of what it would look like if I did the Trump accordion hands. Good one. Haven't heard that while filming a video. Excuse me. Now, here's the thing. You want to see the video? Look at this video. And then they'll all write in, I couldn't see what was happening. Why was it moving around so much? Those were the accordion hands, you dumb son of a bitch. So that's a punch down of the week. And then this week, kind of continuing the trend of being, I think I was most animated during our Gaga and music discussion. But continuing our trend of things that I was just sort of blah on, I watched Jim Jeffries. I can't do his accent right now. 2-Limb Policy on Netflix. Now, I've seen some people compliment this special. I remember particularly liking, I think it was Freedom, Jim Jeffries special from like 2016 maybe. So I've seen him do funny stuff. Like, I've liked a few of his specials. This one felt very much like when an artist starts doing themselves. I think Maniscalco to a certain degree has achieved that. Dane Cook at a certain time achieved it, where you become so self-aware of what works, of who you are as a brand, as a product, that you just kind of go out and do, oh, there's a fucking Jim Jeffries special. Like it was like, he starts with a bit that was really just to set up, I think, another bit, but I don't like it when I hear fraudulent setups kind of thing. And he goes, Mississippi had to get rid of Jefferson Davis statue or whatever, like because of whatever. He says they replaced him with Johnny Cash. And then he went on this rant of like, nobody likes Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash sucks and nobody likes him. And I was like, oh, that's like when Dane Cook would go, you know, when you go into work and there's that one guy who takes a shit in the urinal, that one guy everybody knows at work who takes a shit in the urinal. Yeah, right. And you're sitting there going, nobody does that.
Yeah, right. No,
but his fans are all like, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, right.
And he just comes in, and he's just, you're in the stall taking a proper shit. Okay, plump, plump. Dump. Then maybe it's a good one. Maybe it's like froyo and it's just going into the toilet smoothly. I like a smooth poop.
Yeah.
Shows you're healthy. And then all of a sudden, Tom comes in, takes a shit in the urinal. It's not going to flush, Tom. And the fans are all like, yes, hate that guy.
Yeah.
The no one likes Johnny Cash as the setup for your first bit felt like, I like Johnny Cash.
I was going to say, I was like, do people not like Johnny Cash?
I like Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
like, I enjoy it.
I thought a lot of people like him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's popular, actually. So it was this, that got me off on like a wrong start. And I actually fell asleep. It was like a time for my afternoon nap, apparently, but that's never a good endorsement.
Yeah.
But 30 minutes in, I fell asleep for 10 minutes. And then there was like a callback at the end that felt like a young comic being proud of pulling off a callback. It wasn't like the world's greatest callback. I like forced callbacks annoy me also.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I got to put a fucking callback here because stupid people lock them.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. So it felt like Jim Jeffries, who I've seen plenty of work of his that I like, but it felt, if I'm being given my honest opinion, it just felt like Jim Jeffries was like, I'm going to put out a Jim Jeffries special. Fucking A.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whatever. So, like this episode, kind of whatever. But you know what, folks? I used to just sit around all the time, just pondering life and coming up with deep philosophical topics and things that annoyed me. And by the way, I suggest everybody go back and listen to Morgan Wallen and Yellowstone episodes. Those were like the two of the last episodes we did before
I went out of business.
A hiatus. Yeah. But go listen to those because I was very disappointed. I know you're a football guy. Miles Garrett, you know, Morgan Wallen does these walkouts at his concerts with like local celebs.
Miles Garrett came out?
Miles Garrett walked out with him of the Browns in Cleveland. And he was wearing a cowboy hat. I was like, Karl Malone, is that you?
Yeah.
But he's walked out with Hulk Hogan. He's walked out with like some 49ers, including a black dude, Trent Williams, I think, was with George Kittle. I was like, I get it if George Kittle, he looks like he could be a fan.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Trent Williams? Hulk Hogan of Kid Rock came out with him to a show in like Cleveland or Detroit or whatever.
Yeah.
And Miles Garrett came out and I was like, Miles Garrett, you almost killed Mason Rudolph.
Yes, right.
And then claimed he said the N-word. And I was like, where did that story go?
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty explosive story in a league having racial trouble and one of your biggest and greatest black stars is accusing some scrub white dude of using the N-word. Why isn't he gone? And then I saw, and I was like, but maybe it didn't happen. Maybe he made it up. Maybe he was just trying to get away because he fucking tried to kill a dude with his helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe he just had some roid rage. And that dude is like as big as they come while still being ripped.
Yeah, he's humongous.
Like people that big are usually not ripped.
Yeah.
Like he's like offensive lineman size muscles in like wide receiver ripped. Yeah. Scary. So I hope he never hears this, what I'm about to say. But it's kind of a sellout move to do a walkout with Morgan Wallen, who, other than his great music, barely country using hip hop producers to make it, who very famously was seen shouting the N-word at somebody.
Yeah.
And had to apologize for it and stuff. And I'm like, so you almost killed Mason Rudolph for saying it, but here you are doing a walkout. And there is Morgan Wallen. I'm sorry. It's getting worse and worse because I watched a couple of these walkouts because I'm like, I hate watched them. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, all you get is the walkouts now. And everything about him is like white guy raised on hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, just George Strait, Randy Travis, this ain't.
Yeah.
It's so offensive. I'm sorry. It's so offensive to watch this kind of, and I said it in the Morgan Wallen episode as well as could be. They want black culture. They want to get as much of it as they can, but put a white wrapping on it. And that's their favorite thing. Your songs are done by like Kanye and like, I forget, Young Thug's producer, for Christ's sake. And they're calling it country because you wear a cowboy hat and tight jeans. But Myles Garrett. And then, of course, other story, Mason Rudolph shows up to a Trump rally in Pittsburgh. And I was like, maybe he did say it.
Yeah.
Like, then all of a sudden, I'm like, maybe he said it. But now I see Myles Garrett at walking out with Morgan Wallen. I'm like, not a deal breaker?
Yeah.
First of all, you just signed the richest defensive contract. So there's no money he could have given you that you'd be like, I gotta take care of my family. Morgan Wallen's offering me X dollars to walk out with him.
Yeah.
So I guess it just, if it's a cool enough white guy dropping hard R's, it's okay or forgivable. But if it's a scrub quarterback doing it, I will brain you with my helmet. So on that note, everybody, of racial consciousness and calling out millionaires as hypocrites, get tickets to my show, watch the special. Join the Patreon. Give 5-star. We haven't had a new review for this show on iTunes in like a month. What gives, everybody? That shit's free. Okay? So thank you. We've had better episodes. I'll admit it. We'll be back stronger and better next week. But Mike's going to cut me like 2 clips that make this look like a dynamite episode. So in advance, Mike, thank you for that. I'm holding you to it. And Mike is like, 2? I got to find 2 good clips from this bag of shit episode? Okay. Have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next Thursday.